Hey there, how's it going? It is your muscle building coach, Lee Hayward, and right now I'm in the middle of a shoulder workout using single limb training. And this is a continuation on to the video series that I've been putting together covering single limb workouts for all your major muscle groups. So basically we're training each side of the body independently. So doing all of our reps with one arm, then all of our reps with the other arm, and when it comes to legs, doing all your reps with one leg and then the other leg. And the benefit of this is it helps to develop balance and proportion between both sides of the body, and it also helps to stimulate new muscle growth, because when you do single limb training like this, you're going to hit some of the smaller and stabilizing muscles that you don't normally hit when you train both sides simultaneously. So it's a nice change of pace, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So again, with this workout, we're going to focus on single limb shoulder training, and then in my next workout, we're going to get into some lower body training using single limb workouts. So without further ado, let's jump into the shoulder workout. And we're going to start things off with shoulder presses. Now this is a good mid-range compound exercise for the shoulders, and I generally like to start my shoulder workout with some form of shoulder press. But because we're doing single limb training, we're going to do a single limb shoulder press. And when you do your shoulder presses with one arm at a time, it really changes up the way that your body has to balance and support itself. You're really going to feel your core come into play to a great degree to just balance and stabilize yourself, because you are off balance when you're doing this exercise. A little tip that'll help make it a bit easier is to widen your stance a little bit more than you would for a regular shoulder press, meaning a two-arm shoulder press. Having your stance a little bit wider, I just find gives you a better base, makes you feel a bit more confident, and it just allows you to perform the exercise more comfortably. And for this exercise, I want you to start off light, do a couple progressively heavier warm-up sets, and then work your way up to doing 3 sets of around 10 to 12 repetitions per arm. And the next exercise in the workout is single arm side lateral raises. And this is a good isolation exercise for the side head of the deltoid. And for this one we're going to be using a low pulley cable. And I like using cables for this exercise because it provides a constant tension throughout the entire range of motion. I mean, if you're doing side lateral raises with dumbbells, you tend to only get a peak contraction, or peak resistance I should say, at the top of the movement. But with cables, you have tension right from the start all the way up to the top of the movement, and it's a constant tension, so it provides a nice even workload on the deltoids throughout the entire exercise. Now when you're doing a single limb workout like this and training each side of the body independently, you're probably going to notice that one side is stronger than the other, and this is quite common. I mean, the majority of people out there are stronger in one side or the other. Generally it's your dominant side that is the strongest. So if you notice while you're doing these exercises that one side is stronger than the other, then start with your weaker side first and make sure to perform the exact same number of repetitions for your stronger side afterwards. And by doing this, it'll help to develop balance and proportion between the left and right sides. And now we're going to do some work for the front head of the deltoid with the front raise. And this exercise is very similar to the previous one that we did, the side lateral raise, except we're just going to turn the body facing front to work the front head of the deltoid. Now with this one, you'll find that you get a really good stretch in the shoulder as you lower the weight down. And because we're using cable resistance, you're getting that constant tension throughout the entire arc of the movement. So you can literally lower your hand down till it even comes behind your body a little bit and pre-stretch the front shoulder. And then raise your arm all the way up to get a good peak contraction. Now as you're doing this exercise, there's a couple different hand positions that you can experiment with. You'll notice here on the video that I'm holding with a palms facing down grip, and I like this one personally. I find that it works really well. But if this causes any irritation to your shoulder, causes pain or discomfort, you can also try using a thumbs up grip. And this one would be simply turning your hand to the side so that your thumb would be facing up. And by doing this exercise with a thumbs up grip, it just takes some of the rotation out of the shoulder joint, and it may allow you to perform the movement more comfortably. So I recommend that you experiment with both variations, the palms down grip as well as the thumbs up grip, and use the one that feels the best for you. And now we're going to move on and do some isolation work for the rear deltoid with the single arm rear delt cable fly. And this is one of my favorite exercises to really isolate that rear deltoid, because you're going to get a full stretch at the beginning of the movement and a good peak contraction at the end. And when it comes to shoulder training, very often the rear delts are the most neglected aspect. I mean, a lot of people get adequate stimulation for the front delts, they get adequate stimulation for the side delts, but very often the rear delts get neglected and left behind. And part of the reason for this is because when you're doing a lot of your other exercises, like pressing movements for your chest, your front and side delts come into play to some degree as secondary and supporting muscles, and the rear delts kind of get neglected. So you really have to focus on doing specific isolation work for your rear delts in order to maintain balance and proportion in your shoulders. And this is critical because if your rear deltoids are underdeveloped in proportion to your front deltoids, then this can cause an imbalance in the shoulder joint. And this is often the root cause of a lot of shoulder injuries, like rotator cuff problems and just shoulder mobility issues. A lot of it stems from an imbalance between the three heads of the deltoids. So you want to make sure to do isolation work for all three heads, but specifically for the rear head of the deltoid. And this next exercise is a unique one. It's the Landmine Shoulder Press. Now, we started things off with the dumbbell shoulder press and then moved into all our isolation work for the three heads of the deltoids. So I'm using this one here as a finishing pressing exercise for the shoulders. With the Landmine Press, it really provides a unique resistance and a unique sensation as you're doing the movement, because you're pressing the weight in an arc, and the way that it's balanced, it just gives you that different sensation. You're really going to have to engage your core to a great degree in order to balance and stabilize your body as you're doing this movement. And what I find works well is to straddle your legs as you're setting up for this move. So if I'm pressing with my left arm, I'm going to have my right leg forward, and if I'm pressing with my right arm, I'm going to have my left leg forward, and just having this offset stagger to your legs will help to give you more balance and stability as you're doing the exercise. And to finish off the workout, we're going to do some single arm farmer's walk. And some people refer to this as the suitcase walk, because it does resemble what you would be doing if you were carrying a heavy suitcase. Now, the farmer's walk is a great finishing exercise. I mean, it's not a true shoulder isolation exercise, but it's more of a total body movement. I mean, obviously it's going to heavily work your grip, but it's also going to engage the shoulders, the traps, the upper back, all the muscles of your core, even the muscles in your hips, your legs, your ankles. I mean, it's basically a total body movement, and it's good for building functional strength. So it's just a nice finishing exercise that I decided to throw into the shoulder workout, but if you want, you can throw it in as a finishing move to any workout. So to quickly recap the shoulder workout, we started things off with the dumbbell shoulder press for 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps per arm. Then we got into some isolation work with the cable side lateral raise, the front cable raise, as well as the cable rear delt raise, all of them for 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions per arm. And then we moved on to the Landmine shoulder press for 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions per arm. And we finished the workout off with the single arm farmer's walk, also known as the suitcase walk. And for this one, do 3 laps back and forth to the gym, holding the dumbbell in each arm. Now, for all of these exercises, I want you to start off light and do as many progressively heavier warm-up sets as you feel you need in order to get up to your top weight working set. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the workout. And if you have any questions, comments, or feedback related to this, please feel free to post those down in the comment section below, and I'll chat with you down there. And if you haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe to the Total Fitness Bodybuilding YouTube channel so that you can stay up to date with all my latest training videos. Have yourself a fantastic day, and I look forward to talking to you in my next video. Take care. Over and out.